So my question here is, when we have the natural means, like you said, the black pepper, the sukku coffee, there are so many other herbal ways to get the benefits, to get yourself energized without the negative effects of caffeine, because caffeine holds you up for some time and then it drops you down bad, right? So why can't we do that instead?
I would say it is because of lack of awareness. Now, coffee is easily available in the West, and whatever is easily available is what you will work with, right? Now, these condiments were easily available in India, so we Indians worked with that. So it's a matter of availability. Now, pepper, it's not that pepper does not have any negative effects. In fact, during COVID period, some of the common complications that we were getting exposed to were the complications from overuse of condiments and spices, because everybody was after these herbal remedies. Like you were having golden tea, then golden latte, chukka kapi, herbal remedies, a lot of these kind of spices infused kind of remedies, which was actually giving them acidity. So you need to know what works where. Say, for example, the one which you said, chukka kapi. Chukka kapi is made out of dry ginger, coriander, crushed coriander, tulsi leaves, jaggery, and some pepper, right? If you see the property, it is highly kapha balancing. It removes the excess kapha. Now, if a vata person has it, what happens? He will go into immediate constipation, immediate acidity. So anything and everything under the sun is good or bad based on your body type.
Understood. So the reason I mentioned the alternative, method, the alternative teas and coffees was when you said ki, tea and coffee have also been helpful to some people. While I understand that, but I'm of the opinion that maybe if they went through the herbal route or the alternative route, like the sukku coffee and various other, there is ginger, coriander tea. So if they chose this alternative method of energizing themselves versus having the caffeine method, isn't that a better option?
Any day, that is a better option.
Okay.
But the problem is
availability.
Practically. One is availability.
Yeah.
Two is practically how many people are willing to change their regular way of living. Just the other day, a patient of mine, a chartered accountant who understands everything, her hyperhidrosis, which is like, sweating always. Her hands are wet, feet are wet, to such a point that she has to use a hanky all the time. She is now better. But she wants to go back to coffee because she's badly into it. We try to stay away from it for 6 months. Okay. Now she's like, can I start please introducing at least 50 ml of the coffee? So here comes the real deal. In real life, how many people are willing to do that?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you have the willpower, again, go ahead, please, you can do it. If you don't have the willpower, understand how you can consume it for your body type.
Okay.
She was a pitta kind. Okay. Now, how do we reduce the heat of the coffee? By either adding the butter or by adding a cooling milk, and nothing like cow's milk. Okay, so that is where the cow's milk comes in. Now, if you see almond milk, soya milk, they are heating in nature, so you can't add it. Again, coming to the millet milk or the plant-based milk that we get to see, it only looks like milk. It has got nothing to do with the properties of the milk. Basically, everything has something called property. It's called Vimshadi Guna, 20 gunas as per Ayurveda, if you understand. So, goat milk is neither cooling or heating. Cow's milk is cooling. So for her pitta body type, I had to cool the heating coffee. And that is why we added either butter or the milk. So this way we can actually practically tweak it down. So if you ask me, any day herbal route is the best. If you have a great willpower. Now, if you don't have one, that is when these kind of adjustments set in. Okay, tweaking sets in.
You talked about the Bulletproof coffee.
Yes.
There was a lot of, initially it became a fad, then it was mired in some controversy. Where are we now with the Bulletproof coffee? The thing with these fads is you don't know, is it working? Aaj ke zamane mein kaam kar raha hai, nahi kar raha hai?
So again, now Bulletproof coffee. Now this coffee helps in weight loss. It helps in removing the ama, Ayurvedically speaking. Because the ama or toxin, if you see, it's a slimy, sticky material that is like getting stuck at different parts of the body. What is ama? It is the inflammatory byproduct that is being formed from the food because it is not getting properly digested. Now, if I want to get rid of it, metabolize it, what do? I introduce something that is slightly heating, warm in nature. It can be either the chukka kapi or the dry ginger infused water in the morning. Or if you're very particular about having your coffee, go ahead, have that in moderation. Now, if a vata person, a person who is very anxious, erratic appetite, dry skin, dry body, somebody who has fibroids, fibroadenoma, which is like the lump in the breast, then in that case, you are actually going to need some kind of fat in the morning to get started with your day. So the safest one, if you ask me, I will say go ahead with sesame oil with warm water.
Okay.
Now it does not taste that great.
Yeah.
Okay. Then we go for something that you're familiar with, which is the buttered coffee or the bulletproof coffee. Now this butter, when it is consumed with the warm, heating coffee, it does not accumulate in your system. So that fat gets utilized by your uterus, by the lump in your breast, or the dryness on your skin gets resolved. The 30% population actually benefits out of the same. So which is why nowadays you don't get everybody talking about it, but a certain segment is continuing with it because they are benefiting out of it. Okay. So if you ask me, yes, it works for the 30% population.
Which is a Vata type.
Yes.
Okay.
It is about that type.
Okay. How do you make the bullet coffee exactly?
It's basically very simple. Take a mug of coffee, black coffee, say 200 ml, and 1 teaspoon of butter. That's it. Butter, or ideally,
Ghee?
if you ask me, I would say go for ghee. Butter, when melted, is ghee. Okay. Now, butter is actually used when you need more tarpana, more nourishment for the vata kind. And when you add ghee, it is actually more deepana, which helps in improving your gut health.
Okay.
Or rather the Agni.
If you enjoyed watching this content, you can watch the full in-depth video on the Body to Being podcast hosted on Shloka YouTube channel. To continue watching shorter pieces of this content, you can subscribe to Shloka Clips on YouTube. Don't forget to like this video and follow us on Spotify. Pranam.